Well, hello. If anybody's here, I doubt it yet. I am a little behind schedule today. Hey Vega, how are you? I'm pissing around. Nothing really going on. So, I got a little entranced in here. Almost missed the stream starting. So let me know if everything sounds okay or looks okay, because I didn't do the normal setup that I do. I usually go through and try and double check everything, and I didn't today. So it may or may not be okay. Okay, well, why was I late? Hello, Damage. You're asking why was I late today? I wasn't really late. I was sitting here, I was messing around, and then my alarm went off to start the stream, and I just wasn't ready. So I was kind of entranced with what I was doing. So I'm messing with this 32, no, mediums. The larges are too, space-wise, I don't have space for the larges. So these are all mediums. According to the Starbase Code's unofficial ship designer worksheet, I should have like 3.4 hours of fuel with this setup, which is more than I needed. And I have roughly 3 hours of fuel chambers. I know it's a weird setup, don't judge me. I'm messing around with trying to keep each section of the ship kind of self-contained. I think that's upside down like that, actually. A miner or hauler? This is just a hauler. Theoretically, this is a hauler to go from the capital ship to the surface. No asteroid avoidance, no lasers, just to go from the capital ship to the surface. And to be honest, it's probably not even going to do that very well, but I want to get through in a ship. So, it is what it is. Where did that go? I apparently chopped off a bunch of stuff at some point. Oh, when I took off those propellant tanks, I deleted some stuff I didn't want to delete. Hi, Django. So, this is just one section. I've done each part of the ship modularly. Well, I don't want it to be terrible. I'm a bit of a perfectionist, and hello, Dirty. The medium tank had changed. I don't know. It doesn't. As long as it gets me to the surface and back and I can repair it, I'm a little unconcerned. But I'm doing better in here is all that matters. Things are becoming a little less cumbersome. This ship, it isn't even really meant to be. Big tank math is 1 big tank equals 3 small tanks. 2 mediums, right? They're 4 million. 4 million, and what does a large propellant tank hold? Let's see, what's a large? Can hold 12 million units. You're right, 3. It's 3 for 1. And hello, Django. So what I've done is I've determined what a core section of the ship looks kind of like. Just the frame. Let's do just the frame. Looks like that. So the ship is modular, where I try to contain everything in within this sort of size and shape, so that I can just stack them together essentially like this. I'm not looking at large as it has to do with fitting in the space. So I can just stack these on. And then you can just stack the cargo pods on like this. None of these are done, of course, but this is just me messing around. So which way did I put it? It goes this way, so it sticks on the end of this, right there. And then you can just make the ship bigger and bigger and bigger. So it's all designed to be just modules, so you could technically just add more modules. But I don't think I chose the right kind of shapes for the primary module because it's a little bit difficult. But I can just, you can essentially just delete these chunks. Let me file, save as, I'm calling this the pod ship and mechanicals. It's just this section. And then I'll save it as a module. I don't have it as a module at this point. Yep, you can just keep adding new. So if we opened, I have one that I kind of stuck together. You can see. So this is, this is 800 crates. And then I would cram the mechanicals and the two sections on the back would be mechanicals and thrusters. And they would all kind of maintain this profile. I'd like to get above 130 full at 800, but it's really and then I'm gonna go back and change. Like I like this look of all of these. These are railings, but these are too symmetrical. I'm gonna do a bunch more railings, different colors, probably yellow and blue and red, and kind of cyberpunk them all over the place to make it look more industrial. And it is very industrial. Here, we'll go inside and you can see. Hold on, nothing is bolted together, so there's not one bolt in the whole thing. It's going to take me days, if not hours, to bolt. And there's the cockpit, which at this point is very, very... So this is what the inside is, just a mechanical hallway. It's supposed to be very cyberpunky and industrial, but it does have an inside, which is what I like. A little bit of plating and a little bit of flooring. That keeps you from falling out, but not essentially from getting out. Do all modules? Yes. Yes, I will do all the modules with bolts. I just haven't done the bolting yet. So, I will save all the modules as bolts. Right now they're not just modules, they're also individual saves. So each section is saved. And then when you're in the seat, you get a view like this. I have the seat angled a little bit so your down view is better, but it makes looking a little bit strange. But lots of controls, but lots of view. And for landing on the surface, I wanted a good down view. So just gotta be careful in here. You bump anything, the whole ship comes apart. That's what I did. This is all set up as modules. Each module will be completed individually and saved. None of it is a ship. This is just a this is it saved by itself with me kind of slapping everything together. I will do the bolting and save the modules themselves as bolted. I just haven't yet. Each module is saved as its own individual ship, so I can go back and adjust them individually. But I didn't want to spend 12 hours bolting and then go back and change it because I didn't like the shape or the size. So the whole floor is... yeah, there will be rangefinders. Probably cargo lock beams, like you see one up there. They actually shoot out for guides, and then we'll do rangefinders on the bottom. I haven't touched the bottom much. Yeah, the floor is just heat sinks. I seemed like a good way to put heat sinks and get flooring at the same time. So, but each of these is designed, in theory, to be able to explode these beams and it be its own, or break them and get them the pods by themselves. You could essentially detach each of these pods and tow it away. So yeah, I've stuck with, but I'm going to put a lot of pipes and things in here. But it's just an experiment at this point. I don't know if it's going to be. You need at least 3 beams. You mean to hold it together? Yeah, I have 4. You could add. It's designed to add lateral beams here too, if I needed extra strength. Like, it's easy enough to connect extra beams across the sides here. But there are currently 4 beams, and they're spaced so they don't touch anything, and there's just enough space in between these to actually run a strafe thruster in between them. But the crates, so yeah, they're all kind of, when you look at it from the outside, they kind of look rusty and corroded, kind of. So I kind of like them like that. They're just random browns and yellows and greens and reds. These pipes are too symmetrical, so I'm going to change them to be a bit more random. But that's the idea. I just have to get the mechanicals and the thrusters on it for the concept to kind of come together. And then there's all the work about piping and cabling and bolting. But I like the concept. It's coming together nice. Just so much extra work. And it's still a box. I still just built a box. But at least it's an interesting box. I might change these stripes to red. I don't know. It's not the thruster naming that's going to be a big deal. Just the actual building the thruster on the back that looks nice. It's just going to be 4 thruster groups. And they're going to be the same dimensions as the entire back of this. So I'll start with a pod. It's one of these crates and stick on there and then strip all the crates out of it so I get the same size. Yep, that's what I'm going to do. Stick another set of crates on the back here, change them to the thrusters, and then that should be good. But for my first ship outside of a station hopper, I'm happy with it. I think it's unique enough to suit me. But it won't be like, it's not going to be an efficient ship or, you know, something, it's not going to be fast. The thruster part will need way more beams. Yep, I'm just going to start with the crate pods, just so that it's exactly the same shape and it maintains that same feel. But I want to do them in modules, just like the other ones, so I have to figure out how I'm going to attach them. Because I think I'm going to do 4 matching thruster groups that attach to the end. So it'll be a thruster group that connects, it looks like this size, and there'll be 4 of them. To me, the price is irrelevant, so it'll probably be expensive. It's not a ship that anybody's going to want, so it's just going to be me flying it, probably. But the more I look at it, the more I like it. I don't like this. To me, this looks like stitches on a baseball, and I don't like that. And it needs to be more. But it gave me the idea of doing kind of these pipes. And I think I need some more of this red grading mixed in here. But I'm fairly happy with it. So the way I've got these saved is file, open. So I've got each one of these saved as its own thing. So I can continue to work on it individually. And then I call this the fuselage. So that is just a single section. And then I've got the cockpit today. So that's the cockpit section. And then I'm working on the mechanicals. So you can essentially have anywhere between 2 and probably 800 crates. If the with the one that's together, which is just for my own looking at it, I wanted to look at the building budget, and I'm at 1.2 million out of 2 million voxels. So I've still got a bit of space left, but we'll see how much the mechanicals, because the mechanicals aren't on here and the thrusters aren't on here. So if we can keep those under the voxel volume, be great. If not, probably only be 600 crates. But that's where we are. I would call it a successful weekend. Like, this is only 200,000 voxels. I mean, it's missing a lot of all the plating and stuff, but we'll see. And this is not meant to be easily in changing the fuel out. It's not going to have any spare rods. It's meant to just be repaired. But there's a few of the rods here that you could fix, and we'll make sure there's crafting benches in here so you could make rods. And I'll probably strap in an emergency tank in here for you to be able to tap into, so that if you had to run out of fuel, or you did run out of fuel, you could kind of get away with fixing it yourself. But so anyways, this is where we are. I considered it a pretty successful weekend considering how much I usually despise it in here. That's not going to work because I got a socket board here. Yeah, I could go for lighter weight materials to get more speed, or to just to fight the weight issue. Where does these need to be? These need to be way this direction. Still don't think it's far enough over. Where is it? There it is. The snapping tool has become my friend, and I'm not quite, so I still don't, this movement speeds, I'm never happy with the movement speed. Either it's too fast or too slow. So when I click stuff I shouldn't click all the time. Alright, so those are right where they should be, I think. No, those are over further. Those line right up with the corner. This side does not. I'm trying to keep the ship very symmetrical so that nope, it's this one. You won't clip there. Okay, what's in the way? Oh, this generator's in the way, but it's not in the way on the other side. I wonder if it's... oh, it's turned over. What if I turn it... oh, I never know which way I'm supposed to turn these damn things. This way. Okay, will that let me go? That might do it. I can see how you guys get stuck in here, but I still struggle quite a bit with it. I certainly wouldn't want to spend all my time in here. There's too much other cool stuff in the game to spend all your time in here. Why won't you come over here? This should be perfectly symmetrical. There shouldn't be any objects in the way. Let's see if it's... Okay, so it's not that one. Maybe I missed something. Well, I don't know. Maybe I had some extra click, who knows. Alright, well those are in position there. These all need slid over a little bit. Anybody do anything good this weekend? You any closer to getting your internet back? Damage? Oh, that's gonna make me upset if I try to move all those. They said this week, so you have a little bit of hope. This week would be good. How long has it been now? It's been a month or so, hasn't it? Dang it, I keep holding shift too early and end up clicking other stuff, trying to move everything, which is why sometimes I can't move things because I've got a beam or something in the way. 6 weeks. Steam does not lie. You haven't been in Starbase in 6 weeks? Man, that hurts. Alright, here's a question. I've got 16, 26, 36. Got 40 fuel chambers. 48. And 12. 60 generators. Right? Did I say that? Because there's 16 fuel chambers that have 3, that's 48. And then there's 12 chambers, 24 chambers. So 16 and 24 is 40. So 48 and 6. 48 and 12 is 60. So 40 and 60. Where's our sheet? How many? Alright, we've got 40 fuel chambers, 60 generators. How many heat sinks do I need to dissipate that? 40 fuel chambers, 60 T2 generators. I realize that depending on how tight they are, those sorts of things. How many heat sinks do I need? Yeah, this doesn't even have heat sinks. This has radiator bases, extensions, and cooling racks. So this doesn't have... And heat generation is different. Isn't there like a Starbase generator? I can never remember the names. It's like Dead Earth or something. Starbase generator. There's a calculator somewhere. It lets you build. I always forget what it's called. Oh, I can't remember what the dude's name is. What is that site? Chips. So is our ore sheet. There is a... It's like a little thing you can click your... You like build your generator setup and it tells you how many heat tokens you've... Yeah, I never used it. Yeah, I've definitely used it, but I never remember what it's called. And there is a little, I swear it's like Dead Earth or something. Man. It's by a name like Gritty or Dirty or something. Grimy. I'm trying to find it here in Google. I can't find it. Oh, that's sad. I am trying to find it. Because I don't know if I never know if I need 10 or 100. These aren't all piped together yet, so I'll have to figure it out. I'll be able to add more later. There's no radiators on here at all, so I figure I will mount radiators all the way across the bottom. And we'll see how that works out. Anyways, I think this should be enough. And if I need to remove tanks, like if I've got too many tanks or too many fuel chambers, we can do that once we start testing, but I need to grab all of these. Yeah, I was kind of just trying to get a ballpark. I just have no idea how many I need. Just none. Oh, don't do that. I need a shift before I do that. I mean, the entire floor of the ship. Oh, look, I got something a little extra in there. That was probably not helping me move around. The entire floor of the ship is heat sinks, so I thought building them in that way would at least remove some of them. There's also a gap here that I could fit at least a few more in. I can fit those heatsink beams in this space here. I can't quite. Oh, I can even fit 2 of them there. I don't think it's gonna let me take them taller though. You never know in this game. Yeah, it'll only let me do 2 on the bottom there. And I can single them up like that. So there's more space here to do some. I can't fit a cube in there, but I can fit those in there. I think they have to be piped, but that's not a big deal. There's room to fit, I think there's room to fit a socket board, a pipe board in there, which would let me tie right into one of those. How many gens and chambers? Okay, I have 40 T2 fuel chambers and 60 T2 gens. I was trying to make it even, fuel time versus rod time, but I don't know enough about generators for that. I'm gonna work these in there. They're not bad there, so we'll put them on the other side, and if I can take them out later, I can take them out later. It's supposed to be pretty compact. I should have moved these apart a little bit, and I could have layered some of these flat ones in there, but I think bolting would have been hard. And it's such a perfect fit with the propellant tanks above and below. Alright, now I just have to beam the rest of this in. It's just a little bit tricky. Not terribly, but whatever we have to do, we have to make it fit where the next section attaches. So, and then I need to figure out how to plate it, because I am trying to plate as I go to maintain the same kind of feel. And I also have been doing kind of minimalistic plating, where there's still beams exposed, and not everything is perfectly covered. So, but I do want to cover this kind of obviously. How do we fill this gap? And then how I'm going to bolt all the plating on is going to be another trick, but I'll have to burn those bridges when I come to them. Riffaroo. Hello, by the way. This ship is just because I have never built a ship before. I don't know how long you've been watching. I can show you what we're actually working on. This is the mechanicals portion. Here, let me do this. Let me select this. We're gonna detach, and then we'll save this as mechanicals. Oh damn, starting with a biggie. Well, it's a long story, but I really hate the SSC. So I've been trying to teach myself how to do some of it. So we've gotten, let's open, yeah, save everything. Save all the things all the time. So all of this is done in a modular manner where I can just keep sticking it on to the original ship. So this currently, the thought process is a hauler to go from my capital ship to a moon base to pick up minerals. This is how far we've gotten, and don't let this fool you. There's not, if you look over here, there's no bolts in the entire ship, so it is not. Sometimes when I go into the test mode, it literally explodes. You call this progress? Yeah, this is progress. This is all the further I've gotten. I haven't gotten actually very far. I've tried to I've tried to do it all in chunks. That's kind of how I work my whole life, is try to do things in small pieces, small manageable pieces. So this part should, in theory, if we just should have to be able to click here, in theory this will work. That'll go on there. So yeah, so the mechanicals will go on there. It almost needs to be bigger. Wow, that's way too small, aesthetically. So I have a lot more space there than I thought. That's the first I've stuck it on this ship. So I have a lot more width I could work with, and height. See, now you guys are seeing. This is the first I've seen this stuck on there. And it looked huge when I was building it. But it's not nearly big enough aesthetically. I don't mind that it's not as wide, but it does need to be. Yeah, Riff, that's the plan, was to make each independent section just weldable to the other ones. But this is also meant to be like modular to the point where you could go from just 2 cargo pods, or this takes us to 8 cargo pods. Each cargo pod is exactly 100 crates. So this is now 800 crates. I don't like this section. It needs to be bigger. Needs to be much, much wider. Wow. Alright, we're gonna have to rework that whole thing. You suspect this is currently 800 crates, but it could go down to 600 crates or 4 because of how modular it is. You can see the repeating pattern here in the middle. So this has 4 sections in it, but this is only 800 crates. Yep, that's what I'm probably going to end up doing. I was hoping to get a little bit of a different shape, but the size will. Yeah, the cargo pods need angled thrusters. I don't know about that. I'm going to do a big wall of thrusters on the back. Why do you think it needs angled thrusters? I don't like angled thrusters. The game doesn't like angled thrusters. A big wall won't be enough? Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be a big wall to get it up to speed. I'm not ready for plasma thrusters yet. That 50 meters a second is a speed. Yeah, it's how many thrusters. That's the thing. That's what I hate about this game is I never know how many thrusters I need. And how much space they take up. My thought had been essentially the entire profile of the ship wall. But you don't think that's going to be enough? Oh yeah, we're not. Plasmas just would be very, very hard to work into the design. So we're gonna leave mechanicals because I could probably fit angled thrusters in this gap here, up and down. Yeah, but a lot of ships use angled thrusters to get extra forward thrust when there just isn't a big enough wall. Alright, well let's move on and we'll start playing with thruster design to see how many thrusters we can fit on here. And well, let me move on. Let's go file. New. No. Could have saved it, it didn't matter. I don't know. You guys are asking me questions that I don't have the answer to. All I know is that I was building it at the beginning of this I was just building a thing and it became a ship. So I don't know these answers. But form over function, absolutely form over function. This wasn't even supposed to be a ship. This was just supposed to be me getting over my hatred of the SSC. So the fact that I have a ship at all, come on, is really what the point was. I can never see that thing in space to see how close to the center I am. That better? We closer? Closer. I try to keep them close to the center. Yeah, there's a fine line between efficiency and I shouldn't even say it's a fine line. There's a line. Oh, I took those. I need the other one with the frame on it. I just need these things. I took them off of that other one and shouldn't have. These determine how far things apart are. just want the frame, but I need to add those to the frame. Yeah, I'm not going for Arcanist level, nor am I going for efficiency. I'm just going for done. And then I didn't even think I would ever make this ship. Like, it was just supposed to be a project, so we'll see how it goes. Okay, so that'll get us one of those. You can always add a modular thruster pod. Well, that's kind of what I was hoping, was a way to add, to be able to do it as a module. But that would require them all to be angled if you were... That might be fun. Triangle spiral thrusters. Well, this ship is very much a box, so we're gonna stick with the box. I knew that building a box was going to be the best way to learn how things work, but I also, it hurts my soul to see ships as that are just a box. So I figured I would try to make an attractive box. So if we want, we should be able to select, what do they call those, devices? Or what are they? They're not machinery, are they? Select components, beams. I thought they were devices. There they are, devices. What does that delete? There we go. It's looking good. Cargoes as devices. You can always do the dollar store plasma thruster. Well, the hope is to make this modular. So what if we take kind of this shape and size? Let's grab the plates off of it. To selection. We don't want plates. Plates. We'll put plates back on later if we need to. I think sometimes I switch, but yeah. I switch between select and deselect too easily. I'll also take select decorative plates. You can get rid of all those pipes. Okay. So I've never done angled thrusters, but it might be smart because then I could make modules that don't interfere with each other and keep just stacking them on. Do it. What, angled thrusters? Or dual plasmas? I've never done either. Oh, I've never done any of this. I gave you an option and you just said yeah. Is it the angles or the angled thrusters? Okay. That's what I was thinking. Now, do triangles or boxes work better for that? And at what angle do they not interfere with? What is the shallowest angle where they don't interfere with each other? 15 degrees. Okay. Remember the maneuver thrusters on my first hand-built ship? No. You mean that little station hopper? Oh, you mean on that hand-built one, the one in space. Yeah, those were a mess. I guess the question is, how many thrusters would I need per 200 crates? So So this ship is essentially expandable in 200 crate increments. How many thrusters would I need per 200 crate segment? Anybody have any experience with that sort of thing? Depends on the speed you're aiming for. I know. I don't know the math of my ship either. I'd like to do 130 or better full. According to the sheet, which I don't know how accurate. Where did my sheet go? Desktop media. I must have closed it. Yeah, you can. So if we're just gonna do box thrusters, and we'll say hold on, I'm looking at the sheet that, oh, who gave me? Somebody gave it to me. Freefall, I think, gave it to me. So assuming we're going with, what is it? What's the best? T2 or T? Yeah, this does figure out cooling, sort of, but I think it's the old way because it doesn't. The one I have doesn't have heat sinks in it. It just has radiators in it. Like 20 T3 boxes would do it. For a 200 crate weight. So if I did 20 T2 bodies with T3 nozzles, that gives you the most thrust, right? Is T2 boxes with T3 nozzles gives you the best thrust, not necessarily the best fuel efficiency, but the thrust. Your 105 crate ship has almost double that. You have 400 box thrusters on a 100 crate ship. The most thrust is all T3. Oh, 50-ish. Oh, I see what he said. Yeah, it was... Damage said 20 T3 boxers would do it. And you have 50-ish. Interesting. So... according to the spreadsheet, 40 T3 thrusters only gets 122. 50 does 137, and that's T3 box thrusters. Hold on. Do I have that? Let me put the right number in. Yeah, 200 crates gets you 50 box thrusters, gets you 142 meters a second. So let's search for, let's try 20, never. Don't say this. 20 I don't necessarily think, but okay. Calculating thruster beforehand is really hard. Might go easier for the top 50% roll. 50% of the volume of your ship is thrusters, including maneuvering thrusters. I got lots of maneuvering thrusters. I'm not sure I have enough braking thrusters, but... thrusters aren't light. You could assemble a module for a box thruster group to paste in place. Light. Yeah. So I'm trying to figure out if I use... how many can we fit on a side? How much height do we have? So we have this much height. So let's strip this down. We sort of have... this is kind of our shape that we gotta keep to make me happy. Kind of want to keep it roughly in this cage. I have a 250 crate ship that goes with 100 triangles and 100 box. That goes about 140 fully loaded. For your module, use 8 kilotons for your mass. Overall weight in tons. 250 crate ship. What does it take? 100, 80, 60, 60. All right, it's really gonna be space relative here. So, all right, let's take a box thruster here. I'm gonna use the one that's in the starter kit just because I don't have to put it together for now. And this is just sticking them in space. Changes will be made. All right, so it goes this way. 80 of the box thrusters are at 15 degrees. So yeah, we're gonna shoot for 15 degrees and see how tightly we can pack them. That's special beams, and special beams are special. Let's put a straight beam up on here. Come on. And then we need a 15-degree beam. I don't know how this is going to end up, so I kind of need 15 degrees the other way, huh? Like this. I don't know how I would manage 15 degrees. How do you even use 15 degrees? There's an angled beam. I thought all the angles were 45 degrees. Need it away, I suppose. I am reading your comments, by the way. I mean special beam. Yeah, I've got a 15-degree special beam here. Let's get these out of the way. I've just never done this, so I'm trying to figure out how you even snap to fit. Let's put a hard point on there. So just you're gonna have to bear with me while I So are we saying like that? That's 15 degrees? Obviously I missed all the parts for it. Oh, well, sometimes it jumps, I just don't know. So like this, and then you stack another one behind it as closely as you can, or in front of it, whichever way you go. So let's grab the module this time, and we're gonna see if we do it like this. Miss the hard point, which, you know, hard points help this. So like that. Hard points really helping there. And then how many can we stack this way in this sort of space? Nope. $116, he says. Well, let's see what we got for space. Doesn't have to be perfect, but I do want it. Let's make sort of the right size. It's obviously going to be narrow unless we... Now can you... I'll leave that piece just as a reference to how wide it is. So if we... Is there no circle on this bottom? Oh, there it is. I move around, really still struggle to move around. So those won't hit each other is what you're saying. So that's 3, 6. So that only gives me 2, but I can't really stack them because unless you do you do big stacks of them? That's not. Like instead of this, yeah, I would assume you'd do it in each one. But how far out can we stack these? Because I have to frame each one individually, or at least in pairs, right? I guess they all have to be framed individually. Somehow I missed the internals of those. But how many is that? That's... So that's 3, 6, that's only 30. Right? That's only 30. How would we stack these? Alright, hold on. Oh. That's sort of the same width as the ship. We could do probably maybe one more. That's probably 30 there. And then, yeah, you can't like just repeat it because they get in front of each other up until what? Somewhere there? Something like that. But even then, each one of these is only at 30 thrusters. That's 60 per section. You would need 4 sections like this. The ship would be enormous. Well, I guess on the last section you could do a wall in the back as well. Correct? Because it's not going to be enough. Like 30, that's only 60 if you did it on both sides. I guess we could do something on the top as well. Yeah, the wall at the back would probably still be alright. So if we... What kind of wall could we get in... So assuming you're stacking these, what kind of wall can we get in this space? So let's... So if we make a full-on wall, I think it actually has to go for even... I think it has to go down one further, or one row has to come off. Because right now it's not even. There's an extra row on the top, so you'd have to... I don't think I can grab all this stuff, but... You have to do like that anyways. Yeah, yes, there has to be space here, I know. I'm just looking at how they have to fit at this point. So you could... Yeah, you essentially have to have a split here, there, and one on the end probably. Then you could double up these ones in the middle. Because that gives us 3, 6, 7 times 5. That's 35. That's 70 in each section. And then we would still need a wall at the back that isn't angled. So you could probably do, rotate this a little bit. These do it. Oh, come on. Grab this one. Whatever this is. Stop snapping. I just want you back here somewhere. So we would fit them as far across the back here as we could without interfering with those. Make them straight. It's funny that they rotate all at once. As long as they didn't interfere with these guys. Stop doing that. Control C, Shift C, whatever it is. So essentially we could do a set, a second set. No, you just don't want to go over there. There we go. Catching on stuff, obviously. And then do that like this, and they'd all be straight. And then we fill this center gap, would give us probably another 100 or so. That would allow me to, and then we could just, if this is a module and this is a module. Okay. These don't have to be sticking out. If they don't stick out, they cut off these ones. Probably do that. You can do thruster wings. Ooh, I'm always afraid to click these links. What in the world? Oh, I see. Yeah, like layered thrusters. But don't they interfere with each other if there's something directly behind them, or only if they, only if the thruster trail continues further? I'm actually not disappointed with the way this kind of looks. Obviously, I have to frame that. Okay. So this would be, there would be another one of these kind of up here. And it would have to rotate, whatever rotation we can manage, 15 degrees probably. So it'd be like that. And then there would be a third group here in the middle. And then these would, if we needed more, you just stack them, I guess. Okay. Yeah. Okay. One thing at a time. Let's start with a pod core. This is just the basic thing that I decided. This is what everything attaches to. This already has some maneuvering thrusters on it, which we'll take off. You know what? Let's just, I just need these to get the right distance. Now we can delete this core and just put the frame back. Ah, come on. Now we can delete that, put the frame only back in. Where's that little center thing? Somewhere in there. Is that any closer? It's close enough. Close enough. Alright. You guys snap there somewhere. quite, but close. Okay, so that is like that. Alright, now we need to fit beams. Okay. Not angled beams, special beams. Special beams, okay. So, and then we're gonna need straight beams. Now we need a T3 box thruster, right? And do we do... we might as well just do T3. It's already going to cost an absolute fortune. Machinery. Thrusters. T3. Boom. Now we have a T3 box thruster. I don't want it so far that I can't run that beam. Okay. So now we have a T3 box thruster. We need a combustion chamber, like that. Not gonna snap. And then we need tier 3 what? One is like electricity something. What are they called? We'll need a tier 3 nozzle. What are those pieces called? Those converters. That's a capacitor. Thruster electricity converter. There it is. Thruster propellant converter. There we go. And we're going to save that as... Save. Okay, now I can copy it. Okay, 200 crates full of lithium weighs 7,188,640 kilos. I don't know. 70 T3 procs will be just enough to get that weight to 150. Ooh, which is good. And then if the back thrusters, 150 with full lithium is a very steep order. What do you mean? I get 150 crates of lithium easy. That's not a big deal. It's getting it off the surface that's the pain in the ass. I mean, not anymore. I mean, I have a hauler that does 1,200 crates. This is, like I said before, this is just 150 meters a second. I never expected 150 meters a second, but yes, that's when it gets hard. You have all the other ship components. So if these thrusters would offset the crates, then the wall of thrusters in the back, we hope to offset the mass of the rest of the ship. So 70, we said. That's 5. 6, I think we have to go up here to get 7. And does that look centered? Do we have 1 above? Almost 2 below. I'm gonna try and get it centered in there. It's arbitrary at this point, so let's just do this. Are you in too far? What? Oh, it's this close one, that's why. Okay. There. You want to do the offset correction with the back thrusters. But then you lose power on all the other thrusters. I don't... So this is just, these are the side thrusters. I haven't touched the back wall. So assuming we can hard point all of those. Oh, what do we need? We're at the top there. We've got 2 each way, so that is centered. This bottom one is at this seam, this top one, so we need to move them up a little bit. How far? Because this one's not quite at the hard point. I put a hard point. We snap a hard point there. And we snap a hard point. We do have to come up a little bit with all of these. So click, click, turn off the hard point. Click. All right. Did I miss something? I did. Ah, fuck you. I missed some. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, hi Barkan. Everybody gets all bent out of shape when I get in the SSC. I don't get it. There. Is that it? I made the big mistake. The big mistake. What mistake am I making? I mean, or just going in the SSC mistake. Oh, I used a special beam. I have stayed away from special beams in any serious way. These are kind of decorative. They don't have much use. So, and I went offset each one back to where we started. This is just to get these thrusters. Hopefully we can get thrusters aligned somewhere. All right. Did that move it where I wanted it? No, that's right against that hard point. So I need to move it, what, 12 centimeters up? Probably. We'll have to use Pegrin's hint for me. The return to rotational alignment has affected your positional alignment. Yeah, likely. Well, that's there. So they're not perfect still. My bet is the amount you need to offset those thrusters to have them symmetrical is not 12 cents. It's probably even a whole number. Yeah, it's certainly not 12. It might be some random because I'm still off by this little bit here. Yeah, it's probably because this distance has shortened with special beams. It's not a perfect distance this way anymore, which was my mistake early on, making it that way. But I'm deep into it now. I never expected this to turn into a ship. This was just supposed to be an SSC exercise. Oh yeah, that makes sense, Barkan, actually. Other than there's an odd number here. So if I pull this guy, and what we're saying is set that. See, now they're symmetrical. I just have to see, that cuts a whole row. I have to add additional thrusters to make up for those 5 or 6. Which I could add a couple on the end, because if I go from 5 rows of 7 to 6 rows of 6, you can have a third flange. Yeah, I get where you're going, both of you. I also don't have to use this. We can connect it to the ship via a different framing method. That's just how the cargo containers are connected. It does not need to be that way. So let me put that last, sorry for the horrible noise. Let's get rid of this and this. And then hard point. Move, come on. Go away from that. Stop snapping there. There. Oh, stop it. This is why I hate SSC. I struggle still just to move the simplest shit around. Not quite what we were after. To rotate. We need our 15 degrees back. Now if I use this and that, will it go on there? It will not. So let's see how close we can get this. Anybody watching is not an SSC kind of person. This is not the place to learn. Do not watch me. Do not repeat this. Yeah, we're gonna see how many we can fit on here. I'm trying to get it centered up and down though, which will be very difficult. But if we have 3, we have 7, so we have a center point we can measure from. And I know I have a center point here. So if we try and match the centers, and then I'll find a way to attach it to that center point. Might not be easy or fun, but we'll figure out. So if this, we need a 15 degree beam. And then Not on, in? Just undo to return to your original rotation. Not on, in. Before thinking, I would recommend the first testing of how many thrusters fit in one module. I don't, I'm not following. Damage. Come on, where's the dot? There it is. There it is. Click here. Let go on the outside of that without hitting anything. No, we're hitting stuff. Oh, we're hitting these things. Damn it. Take one module, cut the crates out, and put thrusters in it. Why? I mean, this doesn't have to be the perfect size. You're saying fill it full of box thrusters and triangles and see what, but then they are going to interfere with anything. Well, I guess they do stick off the sides a ways. Let's try this again. Okay, so that should be centered. Because it's the center of this beam, or the center of this hard point, with the center thruster, and this is the center, so I don't care about the top and bottom. It's 5 by 5, correct? Do two triangles take up the same room as a crate? Is that what we're getting at? So I should be able to frame. Select that by seat. Okay. So the trick here is, sorry, I didn't delete what I put earlier, just meant to say yes. Gotcha. So we should need to get this 5 wide, but I have to leave space to actually frame all of this, which is just, I essentially should be able to, think that they're like this, to hard point each of these on the in. You really just fine, just go away. 50 thrusters per side, so he has 200 T3 thrusters for forward. Okay, maybe so you need. Well, the center is the center is not nearly wide enough. If I were to put 50 in each one, I'd only have 100. I wouldn't get 200. But we'll see. We'll see how it works. All right, I need to. You want to swap the gizmo mode from global to local. Okay, gizmo mode. That is a term I've never heard before. What is gizmo mode? Hold on, I need to double up on these thrusters first, and then the... What is gizmo mode? The gizmo is the thing with arrows. This thing. This thing. Transform global to local. Okay. When you're trying to move... I've never clicked that ever. Oh, come on. What does that... what does that do? So here's where we need a double hard point. Because we need hard points here, and then we'll have to reverse them to cram another set of thrusters on the other side, yeah? That makes the gizmo relative to the selection, so you can do things like move that beam you tried to move along the thrust, as opposed to along the global orientation of XYZ. See, these are all things that a solid SSC tutorial might... that's back-ass words. These are both on backwards, I'm an idiot. Two hard points feeding themselves. Was right that time. There we go, like that. Hold on. Yeah, that's right. I don't know how you guys do this for weeks on end to get big ships. Like, I've been doing this weekend and I'm already about at my... So am I on local now? I'm on local now. We'll try it. See if I notice a difference. What does that take? A 96 or something? 72 it is. Okay, so if I just continue these down. Come on. And then 192s maybe? I think it's my depth perception. Well, it might just be my depth perception. I don't know what the lighting settings. Try it. I hate when it's so dark. This game is just so damn dark sometimes. That's still not it, but... Alright. That should get me what I want, right? That'll let me slap 2 more rows of... Well, in this case I only need 1 more row, and then another like that. And then 2 more rows. Because this has double hard points, so a row of these. Godspeed. What do you mean nonsense? I thought you guys all lived in the SSE. I thought I was the only one that thought this was nonsense. I don't know how you guys do it. I just told myself I was going to make a ship. I didn't even tell myself I was going to make a ship. I told myself I was going to make something. Oh. Why don't you want to snap in the same place? Oh, I gotta love it. I should just do it the same way all the way across. Instead of putting these on this end, I should just make it the same all the way. That way they're evenly spaced and they're symmetrical, which my brain much prefers symmetry. Where can we click on you? Oh, the snap points are never where you want them. Yeah. Yeah. That I am certainly not making a cat box. I told myself I wouldn't. I hate boxes. I know the game wants them to be boxes. I just hate them when they're boxes. Oh, that looked like it did it. So I am probably making that mistake without a doubt. But I guess I'm into masochism a little. I also didn't start this project out to be a ship. It was just supposed to be a cargo pod that looked cool. And then it got out of hand. These should all go the other way on top of that. Like the things should be on the inside. Like I should just ditch these two entire rows and slide everything over. Well, we're in it now. I don't know if it always gets out of hand. I usually just get in here and I get angry and then I leave and then I buy a ship. So that somebody else can be the one that deals with all this. But I wanted a cool looking ship. So now I deal with this. I missed something. The only thing I can think is I missed highlighting something. Getting wrecked by pyramid plates. I can imagine that. I've only messed with a few special plates and they seem terrible. See how far up this we can put that. There, that looks as far forward as we can go. What do we need? I need 2 more rows. No beams. No beams. No beams. What are you making with pyramid plates? That all in a row? The front of a ship? You trying to be fancy? Make something real fancy? Alright, so that's 35. I should be able to just... Should be able to just select all of this. Well, select everything. Control all. And then undo this. And then drag this over here. And in theory, I should... no, I can't rotate it, can I? Yeah, maybe? Ooh. Did that work? I think it needs to go this way. Oh, come on. Undo that. Well, that was way easier than it should have been. I mean, theoretically that worked. Right? The trick is how... If you just copy and replace this, does it fit, Beefy? Alright, what if we... Can we take everything, slide it back here, I don't think the angle's gonna work at the length. We'll have to adjust the length a little bit. This tool. Attach this to that. Yeah, see, they're interfering with one another. Big time. Yeah, slightly. They hit each other slightly. How far apart do they need to be? That makes the ship so long. I don't think 15 degrees is gonna cut it. What do you think? Even then, it's... So, like, can they be, like, this close? Or will they... Does this end up burning them up? I don't know. Is that too close? Does anybody know? I know they use those stepped ones all the time. So these are sort of stepped, just as long as it's not touching the yellow. Alright, so we're not touching there. See, this isn't, like, there's so much wasted space here. There's gotta be something we can do. Make them much more angled. Okay. Now let's put that back in. So if we... No, let's get rid of that. Too much stuff. Alright, first thing I want to do is make a module out of a stack of these. Can I just grab all of this? I always end up grabbing too much. Or not enough. Make sure I've got all the pieces, parts. No idea what I'm doing. Not quite sure how you guys figured all this up. I spent the whole weekend. Not the whole weekend, but I did spend 6 or 8 hours in here. And I certainly did not get very far. Spent a lot of time staring at lists of plates and things. Alright, so if we... Now that we have a thruster stack module, how close can we get rid of all this stuff? We'll call it stuff. So I don't like what we were doing with it. Was too sticking out. It didn't look right. But I still need roughly the same number of thrusters. Ugh. Alright, let's do this again. 15-degree corner beam. Special beam, not corner. 15-degree special beam. As close there as we can get. Give us a long beam. Snap it in place. Now we're going to see if we can stick a thruster stack. A thruster stack on here. Now we should be able to stick which hard point? 1, 2, 3, 4. This hard point. Let's move you further away. The center of this hard point should stick on here somewhere. That's not going to work. It's not quite how that's supposed to go. Let's try that again. One, two, three, this hard point to this beam here someplace. Can't really see, so you have to move them away again. Rip this. We'll start down at this end where it shouldn't work. Work our way back till it does. There. That's as close as I can get. So, if I take another thruster stack just like this one, let's grab this and this, and we're going to copy it. We're going to try and snap it on here somewhere where it's not interfering. As close as I can get. Ugh, suck. Oh, there's no center beam here. That's part of the problem. Did I take a center beam with me? I did not. So this beam is centered, which means I should be able to grab wherever it's called thruster stack in here somewhere. That one, these two. Take. Thing like, does that interfere? No. We could probably technically go back a little bit. Just a little bit. Something's not right there though. Yeah, that's not right. Unhook this one. Control click. That went in the way. Alright, that seems to be about as close as we can get there. Now if we take another thruster stack and move it. Oh, come on. Fine. We'll do it that way. How close can we stick it? On this end? That was a lucky guess. It doesn't get us enough though. We essentially need 2 to double up on each of these. That's what I need to do. Where's my thruster stack button? It's not gonna work. I can't actually click anything. So like that. How am I gonna get 5 though? Do I just triple this? And that gives us the most space? I think that's probably the answer. Like if we just... come on. Try that. So that will do 2 and 3. So that gives us 5 in a much narrower area. Was it? I mean, because it was significantly further out last time. But can we copy all of this and make it work? That was the problem. Is it's... Oh no! Don't do that. Control Z. Oh man, I don't know. We're hitting something. Oh, those thrusters are banging on these thrusters, so we're gonna have to extend this a little bit. We're just gonna stick a 192 on here just to be safe, but... Oh, hold on. Those aren't a module, I have to actually select all of this stuff. Let's see what we got. Now we should be able to grab... If I didn't grab anything I don't want to grab... Oh, like that. It just happened. I'll grab that. Do this again. Okay, now... Whoa. Cessna 172. Yep, that's a fun little plane. I'd have a lot of hours in a Cessna 172. It's kind of like the default learning airplane. Everybody that learns to fly either flies a Cessna, usually a 172. There's a 152, a 172, 182, and a million others, but those are the real common ones: 52, 72, 82. And why don't you want to go there? The other airplane is like a Piper Arrow, usually. Is it an Arrow? It's not an Arrow. I think an Arrow has retractable gear. There's a little Piper that's a low-wing airplane. That's the other real common one. I have a lot of hours in it too. But 172 is like everybody's favorite starter airplane. They're relatively affordable as far as airplane prices go. And they're real easy to fly. The airplane likes to fly straight and level, which is great when you're learning. Alright, so that's 384. Can we get it? Oh, that's still in the way. I was hoping to use the space better, but there's just no way. At 15 degrees anyways. It makes it incredibly long. If I just do it as a wall of thrusters, how many boxes am I gonna need? I'm gonna need like 70, 152, 200 probably. What does the worksheet say? The worksheet says I'm gonna put 1,000 crates in just because that should cover up. T3 box thrusters, 200. Would get me 129 at 1,000 crates. 250 box thrusters, give me. The older hauler I'm using is going 90 meters a second with 1,000 Lucium. How many thrusters does it have? And what configuration? Because this 15-degree angle doesn't gain me anything. You need so much linear space to use them. I can see using one set to get you a little more box on the side, but oh, that's a GitHub source. It's got tons of angled thrusters. Yeah, that's what you need, so much linear space, which the design of this ship doesn't have any more linear space. I'm gonna have to get 120 angled thrusters. That's all? For 1,000 crates? That can't be right. It has to also have... Yeah, it's got more on the back. Yeah, so it's like, that can't be right. Well, I could do this and then have a row on the top and the bottom also go straight, which would give me some more. Yeah, because this won't work, because obviously these interfere with those. Well, I mean, let's see. I'm gonna save this. I typed that in the wrong spot. I don't know where that's sent. I locked myself something. I don't know where that paste came from. Alright, if we open... I don't necessarily want angled thrusters. I was under the assumption I couldn't get enough thrusters on a wall of thrusters to... my original plan was just a huge wall of thrusters, but it's how many thrusters can I fit in that. So that's the next thing, is just to see how many thrusters we can fit. You know, if I just do a wall of box thrusters, how many do I need? Straight on, just a straight flat wall of box thrusters. How many box thrusters do I need? So let's get rid of all this bullshit because it's not working anyways. I have no idea how much that ship will weigh. So if we open the pod, is there any way to determine the mass? Material cost? Budget? Oh, this is the budget here. Tells the voxel volume, but it doesn't tell the mass of it. If it's bolted, we can. I mean, we can temporarily auto bolt it. There's not any bolts in it. Would that, we'll auto bolt it. There's no bolts in it. It took 3,000 bolts. There weren't any bolts in it. So, and then what do you try to pick it up? I don't want to. First of all, let's get out of a conversation with. How do you? There we go. It's obviously not all bolted, but how do you figure out the weight? Alright, it's got 50 crates. Well, it's 5 by 5, which is 25, so 50 thrusters per side. It'll have to be bigger than that. There we go. 1.1... No. Yeah, 1.148. So, over 1 million. So if each one of those is 1 million. Oh, that's what it said, 1.148. 1.148838. So yeah, that's 1 million. 1.15 million. How do I fill it with Lucium? No idea how I would fill it with Lucium. F5 again. Oh, select all the crates, okay. Then the virtual mass tool, okay. Select devices. Everything's selected, let me... Okay. Select devices, virtual mass. So what do we add? Custom mass. I have no idea. Materials. Metals. Lucium. 26352. Is that what I put in here? 26352. I've never done this. Okay, 27000. Now what? Oh, I just screwed that. And apply to selection. Okay. F5. Try to pick it up again. That weighs less. Oh no, 1.418. So it's a little different. The numbers were just close. 1.4 kilotons. Never. Check bolting what? Hi, Cindy. There's no thruster, so there's no frame. It thinks everything is loose. Does it just need a thruster and a hard point to make it something different? Oh, you said and then use the durability tool. Not even. One of these is a durability tool. It's all green. Yeah, I don't know, that doesn't I think it was welded. Show unwelded beams. Let's try it again. Oh, same amount. 1.4. It added some, but... So I did that right. Select devices. That should get me all the crates, right? I don't have any more right. This is as right goes.
Just add the weight, you know?
Oh, hold on.
And, like,
Hold on. Let me...
select all.
There we go.
Or add all.
Okay, so we want to put the 27000 and apply to all.
Apply all. And then give it a few seconds before you hit F5. Oop, I might have... Yeah, it went back to 1 for some reason. It's not... It's, you gotta redo that.
Apply to all. Why is it not 27000? Enter. Apply to all. Okay, that looks different. Something different happened there.
Okay, now try.
There we go. 3.8. But 3.8 bajillions. 3.848 bajillions. Still a bit less. I don't know. This is the part where I just give up in the SSE because this part is stupid to me. Just give me the answer. Like, there needs to be a way to just tell me, I've got this much. What do I need?
Like, you'll take your thrusters, you know, the thrust they give off, and then you divide that by 6. And then that'll give you how much mass they can push to stay at 150.
Doesn't see any of these as bolted, it's probably part of it. Yeah, those are just, so none of that's bolted, that's why it's not lifting. Yeah, it doesn't like any of these plates. But because I haven't bolted them yet. But I don't want to go in there and bolt them. Like, that part sucks.
So it'd be close to like 4 million probably, right?
Yeah, it's 3.8 something. The crates all look bolted. The middle crates are missing too. There's no middle crates in this, it's a hollow cube. There's there are no middle crates. Shouldn't say that. There's 6 or 8 middle crates, but they're they appear to be. It looks only the plates and the decorative stuff is the only thing that's not connected in the center of mass. So it does have all of the crates. $100 crates. It is 100 crates exactly. I can't believe it took 3,000 bolts to auto bolt that, and it didn't even bolt everything. I like the way it looks though. That's really all I was going for with this entire endeavor. There was no ship. So about 4 million is what it's gonna weigh. So
I said 200 earlier just because it'd be 2 modules at least, you know.
Yep.
So yeah.
So why do you have to divide by 6 is what you said. You said you take the thrust of a...
Yeah, like whatever thrust you have on a ship, you divide that by 6, and then that number is like the weight you need to achieve 150 meters per second.
Aisle thruster. No, we're not saving any of that.
Like earlier in chat, I put 1 T3 is enough to push like 108,000 mass. So, even though it puts out 650,000 thrust.
Alright, so 1 T3 is enough for 108.
It's like 108 something thousand.
Gotcha.
You just divide by 6. Whatever the thrust is, you divide that by 6.
So let's see, this thrust. That's the thing is, like, it doesn't. It's like 6 parts. It doesn't tell you how much thrust that
You
it
just take the main
generates.
body and then the nozzle.
So the main body says,
It's like
there we go,
440 or something.
520.
Or 520, yeah. And the nozzle's like 130 or something. If I remember right.
3.84 a million. Alright, so 520 and 130 is 650.
And yeah, angled thrusters are going to lose a little bit
Yep.
of that, so it wouldn't be as much.
I don't want them to be angled. I just thought that I thought I wasn't going to get enough thrusters going a wall that I was going to have to. So, or...
So 3.84.
2 times million. 32 million. And we said it was 650,000, right? And you're saying divide by 6 gets you 108,000. So let's say.
So if you ship weighed 108,000 on one thruster, it would go 150.
Divided by 108,000. Yeah, it's like 300 box thrusters or something. If I did all 800 crates. Big numbers time. Yeah, I don't like numbers. This is a part of the SSC which makes me lose all interest in the SSC, like 100%. Like, I want to build the ship. I don't want to do any of this bullshit.
Understandable.
I just wanted to tell me you need X number of thrusters, and yeah. So there's.
And you need take into consideration, the gens and beams and everything else.
Yep. I have no idea what any of that weighs. So.
Right.
Yeah, it would super be nice. Like this sort of nitty-gritty nominal bullshit is the stuff that frustrates me. I don't mind the building. Like, I like the creative part of it. But that's one of the reasons why I've just been sticking plates and beams together. I don't want to do this part. But I mean, that's going to take like what, 325 box thrusters, T3 box thrusters.
I guess it just depends how fast you want to go.
Right. Yeah, fast enough.
Fast enough.
Yeah.
Little bit of min-maxing, once you get to that point for sure.
Min-maxing. Have you ever met me? Because that's not my thing. It's got to look cool.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to crash in here. I just figured I'd...
No, you're welcome in here anytime.
Try to squeeze some numbers.
So let's see. What is...
Easier than typing.
Oh, yeah, I need the square root, not the cube root.
I'm sure Damage has a way to get pretty ballpark.
Yeah, I'm sure he does. I'm sure he does. He's got a spreadsheet for everything.
That sounds pretty close to right.
Hmm?
49 T3 box for one crate module. And I'm assuming he's talking about going 150 or close to that or something.
Yeah, I was thinking if you did 50, that would be 25 on each. 130. 130 would be fine. Full.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, full of Lucium. I only carry entire loads of Lucium rarely.
Right. No, that'd be great. 130 is respectable.
So
150 is extremely hard to do with Lucium loads.
Yeah. I mean, your ship is 1,200 crates and almost does it. So this is 3 times 7. So that's 21, which would be 40. I did. Trying to get 25. You just did 5 by 5, but could do an 8 in the middle. Or the top.
I mean, you could
or the
just
bottom.
build something you don't like the looks of, and then go from there. You know?
Yeah, well, that's part of it. Is
Mhm.
I don't want it to look like shit. Altogether, the ship looks pretty cool at this point.
Mhm. Mhm. Oh, for sure, yeah.
I mean, I've put enough effort in the cool part. I don't want to give it up now. Do you see how open the cockpit is? Like you can see a million miles in each direction.
Oh, I love it. I love the downwards view for landing.
Yeah,
For
like
sure.
I've never had a cockpit that was quite that open, and it has a lot of room for it has a lot of room to actually put stuff in it.
So in the footprint of those modules, you could put 100 triangles, right? Is that what we're talking about?
It'll fit 5 by 5, so 50 on each side. Yeah.
So then,
Yeah, this view, I like this.
100
The
if
down
there were
view.
T3.
Yeah, 100 T3 is not nearly enough, and you could make them
No.
bigger.
If you put 100 Tier 3 in the back and then just offset it with whatever concept you came up with after that, like either those angled ones or who knows.
Who knows? That's exactly where I am. Who knows?
So like, let's see, 312.
I need 97 T3 tries per, and that's per crate, right? I need 100 per crate. Yeah, that's ridiculous. I knew this ship was too good to be true.
That's why you see a lot of these things with like no plating or any.
I know.
anything.
It's just
Yeah.
so stupid that you can't. There's got to be a way.
Using NAF light will get you some of the way, but that's just that's just putting a scratch in it, really.
Yeah.
Just putting a
So
small dent in it. NAF light plates, and then, I mean, you can do NAF light beams, but you're not gonna be able to do it on all of them, especially the ones close to the thrusters. It won't. That's just not strong enough.
just not strong enough. Yeah.
Yeah, you'll need to use Bastium or something stronger.
What can I do to really pile the crates in there? I don't. I mean, the only reason we were doing angled thrusters because there was just the suggestion, so we were just messing with it.
Right, right.
I don't. And if we put the mechanicals on here,
I mean, they are less efficient that way, but it is a cheeky way to get closer to your desired speeds.
yeah, to put the angled thrusters because you just don't have a big enough wall. There's sometimes. Oh, I screwed that up. So if I put this on here. I could add angled thrusters to this mechanicals part on the outside and still make it look okay. Yeah, there's 8 crate mods. Well, there is at this point, but it's one of those things like I could take crates off until it worked. That's.
Or you could see that triangle thrusters have a little bit less distance on the thruster trail, you know?
Right.
It's not quite as long as those boxes.
So I could probably
So you could,
pack a bunch of angleds in here.
or just have another wall of thrusters a little further back with tries, you know what I mean? Like,
Oh yeah, one right after the other.
yeah, I mean, it starts to look funny, but I mean, it's one thing you can do. Or just along the sides, even you can have them straight, not angled, because they have such a short trail. You can
Yeah,
probably
what
have
is-
3 sections of them, maybe.
Should have a T3 triangle here. Oh, that might actually work. I could get a few there anyways. Get that.
Mm-hmm.
Like that won't even touch the actual wall. if I put a secondary wall of them here.
Yeah.
It's not going to get me a ton, but I
yeah,
could
if
do
you
the
get
top.
creative and find a way to squeeze them in, yeah, you could do a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, it's just how many do I need total? That's the huge
Yeah.
question, is how many do you actually need? I like this ship too much to give up on it.
No, it's cool looking, dude. I would pursue it to finish it. Yeah.
I like the different colored crates because they're not obnoxious. Like, they look weird for sure, but they're not obnoxious.
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, they look like they're rusty or corroded kind of thing. Was the plan, and these aren't all gonna stay blue. Like I'm gonna change these railings to kind of be a little more willy-nilly. Go ahead and tell me, damage. You're never one to hold back. I think I could get quite a few. I could go all the way up over the top and bottom. So like I could put a little wall here that's this size and then do a row all the way across on the top and the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Probably two.
You know that meta fighter he built? The thruster setup on there, you remember what that looks like?
You know what, I've seen, he's had quite a few thruster setups on there.
Well, that thing is, I mean, he's got anywhere you could put one, there's one, you know, like, there's different angles and levels and depth to them all.
Yeah.
You could do something like that. Then you're going to get into more than 50 thrusters probably, groups or whatever, so you'll need more than one.
I haven't even, there's not a cable, there's not a bolt, there's not a there's not a piece of ductwork in this. I 100% realized I can't do that as I go along until I've got something. So
yeah, there's a lot of back and forth with that for sure.
Well, yeah, I didn't exactly choose something easy to start with, but this actually,
but you know that, sorry,
this will actually work, I think, with the triangle. Well, it'll get me some anyways. I could probably
you're smashing down that learning curve though, dude. you're
8 crate modules is 162 thrusters total, plus 4 thruster modules of 200. So you're saying 162 box and 200 triangles, all T3 is what I would have to come up with. That's a shit ton of thrusters for sure.
And I think he's talking 130 meters or something.
130 is fine.
Yeah, absolutely.
I just didn't want to go 50, you know?
Yeah, like the servicer, I love it. But
it's
I'm
so
not going to do that trip to Elliot and back with that thing, dude.
Yeah.
When it's full.
Oh, it's so slow.
Great ship. Amazing ship.
You just turn it on and you walk away. I did come back one day and it was in this like crazy face down orientation. Not moving. All the generators were turned off. I have no idea what happened. I was just staring at the ground. Ship wasn't broken. It was missing one rangefinder. And weird shit happens.
Yep, I've bashed off 1 or 2 rangefinders a handful of times.
I can't figure out which one comes off that really breaks it though. Like there's definitely one there that...
I think it's one of the front 2. It'll like mess up the cruise control too.
Yeah, it messes up everything. So I mean, how many is that? That's already 4x4, so that's 32. I don't know if I can get 200 in here, but I can probably squeeze quite a few. The whole point was for this to be wickedly modular, because I also want to make different pods, like so fuel pods. Take those cargo pods off and replace them with fuel pods, and you can kind of just Lego together your ship in whatever orientation you want.
That's pretty cool.
I don't know if it'll work, but
it's a cool concept though.
It's easy build mode, but like already decorated. Like each cargo thing, all you do is snap together. So like we could do that, and I think it can go one more. It's not terribly creative, but it would also let us put another. That's probably too high. Sometimes I find moving really difficult in here.
For sure.
Especially when you're like holding on to something.
Oh yeah. It'll go all weird directions.
Yeah, and then
you don't want it to be.
Yeah. So like that's too flat. We could definitely work in some... Fill this gap a little bit. How many is that? That doesn't look ridiculous. Too ridiculous anyways. It might have one too many. Up and down. One too many rows.
Do angled corners? Would that make it look aesthetically better?
Yeah.
Like take that one off the corner?
This one?
Yeah.
Well,
like have all the corners just angled.
Chipped. Many is.
Just give you a better feel.
It's one of those things. Yeah, it's like you're like, I put that on and then I take it off and then I put it on and then I take it off. Those don't look centered, by the way. My randomly sticking them on there wasn't right. But how many is that? 3, 6. If I shift those down, I can probably get a 7th row. Yes and no. Yes and no. I love when you give me like really not clear answers, Damage. I don't remember what I asked anymore, but you gave it a yes and a no at the same time. Those are the answers my kids give me. Actually, that's one of the things we make fun of my oldest daughter for. When she was about 3 or 4, she was just starting to talk. She told me one day that yes and no are the same, and they're yellow. Oh, I thought it was pretty funny. Oh look, that one's missing some pieces. Awesome. Oh, and I just unclicked all of them. You lose internet gets alright, my idea fast. Use your crate module, switch screens, fit in 50 thrusters, make it slim, only bigger than 2 tri-thrusts. Slap it on the back, then next to your crate module, and in the front, like Space Taxi from Tron Shift Price. And you can still slam a lot of box thrusters in the back and make it look nice. We'll give it a shot. I'll see how many triangles I can fit. Not quite sure how I got these without inserts in them, but I did. Let's see if I can shift these down a little bit, because I don't think they're in a good spot. Oh, it's something along there. That's one of those half distances, isn't it? Yeah.
Oh yeah, the airplane maintenance is done.
Going flying, huh?
Tomorrow, yeah.
Take a barf bag with you just in case.
I don't think I'll have an issue with that.
Yeah, little airplanes will make you question your life.
I've been in a couple.
Oh yeah, if this is not your first go, then you'll be fine.
It's been a while though.
Yeah, Django, it's supposed to be very space or cyberpunky, but it's a lot tougher than I was expecting. Well, I shouldn't say that. I knew it was gonna suck. Let's be honest.
Cyberpunky, huh?
Well, once I get all of the wires and cables, and I think it'll be more.
You could bolt it in such a way that'll add to that aspect too.
I'm trying. That can't quite go there, but oh, it just snaps in weird places sometimes. Snapping in this is awful. I never expected this to be easy. I actually expected me to give up on it before now. I was 100% expecting me to just be like, nope, not doing it.
But now you have something that's cool, so
I know. Once I finished
it
that
gives you a little
first
bit of push.
crate, I was like, well, I wonder how these will connect together. And then I made that part. And I was like, well, where's the pilot gonna sit? Yeah. I mean, I can see how you can get stuck in here, but this is the part that just
Yeah, I
irritating as
totally understand.
all hell. Let's see, what can we... Let's snap this corner. See if we can snap it to anything. First of all, we have to move it away. There's snapping. Oh, there's a center point there, so that is the center. Let's see. That actually centers it. Yeah, yay! Alright, and then I like your idea of clipping that corner off, but that'll require us to rotate.
Yeah, it's always fun. Multiple parts, just...
Yeah, that's not how that rotates. I always rotate it. Look, it rotated once, and then now it won't rotate the rest. Interesting. I never rotate it the right orientation. Never.
I still do that.
Look
After all
at
these hours, I still mess that up. Ah, that feels better already.
Yeah, and how many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 10, 20, 30, 38. You do.
I like the look of that, though.
That's actually not horrible.
Oh, it's not. It's not horrible.
So I could probably end if I did another row, because it's a little low. Like a half a box up or down will get me one more. And I could probably do a row straight across to tie into all of those, top and bottom.
Like one group, you mean, or?
Well, here, let's just do it. Oh, I have to click all these again. That's so bad.
You could hide all the other stuff. Hide devices, hide beams.
Oh yeah, there's still gonna be. Oh, I guess this is. So let's. All right, we want that. Then we'll grab all these. What time is it? It's 2:30. I have a soccer game tonight, of course, because it's a day that ends in Y, so we have soccer. We only had. It's I have 2 kids in it. It's 7 days a week.
Yeah, you sound like my brother.
Yeah, there's weekends where we have 5 soccer games in a weekend. We have to like divide and conquer. Luckily I have one daughter that doesn't like sports, and she would just rather hide in her room. I'm like, that's what teenagers are supposed to do. Just hide. Yeah, you're just supposed to be a moody teenager and sulk in your room. I don't know what my kids are doing. My parents certainly did not have time for all of this crap.
We went to a Twins game yesterday, my whole family. And my brother's kids were throwing peanuts and water over the railing down to the next level.
My kids would have had their asses beat.
Yeah, they didn't survive that one very well.
Yeah, that would that's a no-go. Sorry. Oh, sometimes like the cursor just yanks to the moon and I don't get it. Just moves weirdly sometimes. All right.
I hate when it selects the whole ship.
Yeah.
Drives me nuts.
The other reason I haven't done any bolts is because of the way bolting works. And I'll be moving and then all of a sudden I hear a bolt vanish. And I'm like, I don't know what just happened.
Yeah, when I'm doing some intricate bolt stuff, I'm like religiously hitting
undo
the 3 key to not undo bolts all the time. Like when I move, It's
super frustrating.
Yeah.
You're like, you hear that noise, you're like, oh shit. What just happened? You took one out somewhere.
Like if I'm working around crates
or generators.
I just hide them. I just hide them everything.
Alright, what are we bumping into?
Lock them and hide them so I don't even
It's these plates.
have a chance.
Where did my extras go? I gotta put those up. Did I delete them, or where'd they go? You, yeah. Why are you deleted? Alright, so... the trick is to keep everything self-contained. So you'd have to line them up. This is the seam between the two, so this is where they would have to go. I don't want it spilling into the next. I know it sounds stupid, but I don't want them spilling into the next module. Otherwise, the module part doesn't work. So I need you 4 crates to come with me. Let's see where we can actually get you to click. Will you fit in that little gap that I made? Of course. Oh, yeah, Lord, no. Let's put you back where you're easy to grab. Oh, man. I don't know how Happy does this for like 12 hours on a Sunday.
I try not to, and then before I know it, I'm in there for like freaking 10 hours. It's like, Jesus.
You guys are nuts.
Just get hooked on
I'm just
design and you want to do it. And
getting hooked on not sticking a fork in my own eye. That's really it's really the goal here. Just don't fork myself in the eye.
Today I kind of feel the same way, honestly, with these pyramids.
Right?
And these triangles and these angles I'm trying to mess with.
Yeah, anything with angles is bad news.
There's a few key pyramids they just didn't put in the game that would work so well. And they're not in here.
They're just not in here. Alright, so those could go like that. Obviously, they're going to burn the shit out of these, so they're not going to be there. I don't mind the aesthetic stuff. I can do the aesthetic stuff all day long. That stuff's... some of it, anyways. Some of the plating issues, figuring out what the plate even looks like is... or how to rotate it, or how you're supposed to bolt it. Like, some of them just don't even like, how was I ever supposed to bolt this plate? That wasn't janky. Okay, so you, and you. Come with me. So something like that. The holding the space bar and sliding over is one of the struggles of mine.
I'm not a huge fan of that. I typically just right click and go everywhere. Just fly around that way.
There's like no good way to strafe up and down. It's
I mean, it's not bad, but it's just kind of...
it's really awkward. Because you don't use that in anywhere else. But it's not a mode of movement in any other game I've ever been in, or... Are we not quite? That's where you have to be. So you guys are not quite in the right spot. Yeah, I'd love to see a snapping overhaul in this game. Oh, it's too low. Come on. Just reselect all that stuff. I'm not sure there's any snapping point. The fact that beams... beams don't. Those things aren't in the right spot. The fact that beams don't snap, like have snap points on the corners, kills me. Like, why is the snap point in the center and not on the corner?
Yeah, I feel you.
Right? Do I have any? Yes. We're going to use this beam to our advantage. Those still highlighted? Yeah. That trick that Pegrin taught me has been a lifesaver, to move stuff using a corner beam.
Yeah, that is super cool.
Until you've got 1,000 things highlighted and no corner beam. You're like, oh no. I need a corner beam. Where's our corner beam?
I wish there was like a double selection thing or something where you could have those still selected, but also put something else down.
I just need a snap to grid that pops up. You hold the key and it just has a grid of like 6, 12, 24, and you click between the, like it's an imaginary item. Alright. Okay. Looky there. I mean, it's ugly because there's chunks missing out of it. I could do the same thing on the bottom. How many is that now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 12, 24, 36, 48, 50, 56. That's 112 plus another 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28. If I go all the way around, that's 128 triangle thrusters. That's a significant addition. And I think there might be enough room in this gap to squeeze 15-degree box thrusters.
If they're close to like the crate module.
Yeah, if and they point up a little bit. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I mean, they're not going to be
a little bank of them.
They're not going to be ideal. I can't see these things sometimes.
Like boxes? Okay, yeah.
Like that maybe? Like, kind of. But 50.
Sure you could work that in there?
Can I get a 50? Look at that, like the, oh, look at that, it doesn't even.
It's still on the,
There, it's still on the bias. So, wait. Come on, grab the fucking thing.
I hate when it does that.
So whatever, this would be 15 degrees, whatever that actually snapped to, but, oh, come on. Turn off snapping now. And then sneak them, like, here.
Shift C.
Yep, I turned them off. Yeah, I turned it off. So, like, that would give us another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 16. Another 16 box thrusters, top and bottom, so another 32 box thrusters.
Somebody know how much thrust you lose at a 15% angle? I don't even know.
I don't know. But that wouldn't be horrible. And then there would just be another wall of actual box thrusters on the back. I wish we could just leave it like this, but that's not enough thrust.
Not quite, yeah.
I wish you could just continually increase the amount of electricity to a thruster. You like set what its usage was. And it would generate more and more thrust based on how much propellant and electricity you fed it. Does that make sense? So you could just
like overclocking or something.
Yes, you could just keep cranking it up to get more and more out of it. I mean, obviously there would be diminishing returns, but
and then just make it so you have to add more heat sinks.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there's a compromise somewhere, but you just don't need more and more and more and more thrusters. You need more and more power. Well,
have like a thruster health or a thruster life.
Yeah, make it burn out, or it just needs repaired. You know what I mean? It just
that's what you mean, like repair haul.
Yep. You know,
at some point, like it'll just start to lose thrust or something.
It'll just turn off. You keep pushing power into it, it just burns out. Yeah, Django, your TIE fighter is probably going to be an utter pain to work with. It looks cool.
Looks cool.
I mean, and that there's merit to that.
Yeah, that's what I'm currently doing. Is something that is more for looks. It's all plated, everything.
Yeah,
Like it's a
the
challenge for sure.
plating is fun. I like the plating part.
And then no bolts on the
Right?
outside.
You got to do all the bolts from the inside. Yeah, so all of these plates, I can actually plate. These cargo pods are actually platable from the inside of the. You can bolt from the inside of the crate out.
I'll just do the beam there, nice. Yeah.
You don't even need a beam, really. I don't necessarily. So if we turn off the devices, I can bolt all the crates to the
Oh, through
beams.
the.
But yeah, do the bolts from the inside of the crate out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Nice.
Yeah. Where's my bolting tool? There it is. You got to be in the right spot, but yep. And then there's no bolts showing. I keep trying to. And these plates up here, which I can barely see, you can get them from the. So no bolts showing from the outside on these plates either. So I kind of tried to put a little bit of thought in that. So yeah, there should be no bolts for this entire
Nice.
thing. Even these railings are all boltable from the inside. So like you don't do that. That's a floor. It's hard to see like where you're bolting when stuff's ghosted.
You gotta hide certain things. I wish you could lock and hide individual parts.
Yeah, like you click it as yes, it needs to have a radio button or a checkbox.
Or like a selection, hide selection, or whatever. Instead of just all of that same thing. It's like, dude.
Yeah, there's a. So yeah, it's not easy. It's time consuming, but it can all be done without. It's funny as you see these gaps here with the thruster, the strafing thrusters in between them.
Oh, that's cool. Nice.
There's no.
I like it.
There's no room there for.
I didn't know those were there. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, they're hiding in between. You can
Is it touching the things at all, even a little?
Not even a little.
Okay, good.
Let's see, let's see if I can move in a manner. See, not even.
Oh.
Not even a little.
I like that.
I don't know if it's necessary, but the room was there. I'm not gonna be able to deal with this gap. I'm gonna have to figure out how to plate this whole gap closed. It's gonna have to look cool.
You could throw some kind of machinery in there, you know, other stuff you need to put somewhere.
Yep.
Propellant tanks, maybe?
There's already propellant tanks here in this machinery section.
Oh, okay, that's right, yeah. You're hiding behind that wall of yellow.
Yes. So next is, alright, I'm okay with that. I mean, it's not great, but that's gonna get me, why don't I remember what it said. It's gonna get me 30, right? There we can fit 8, 16, 32 box thrusters, and maybe a little more on the edges. If I put a row sticking out, that would get us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, another 12. So 48 box thrusters and a lot of triangles, 100 and some triangles. 1, 2, 3, 4. 24.
Pretty cool looking thruster trail.
24. What did we just say? 4, 24, 48. There's more than that there, right? 4 times 6 is 24. Oh, it's 48 because they're each doubled. So 48, 50, 54, 56. It's 112. 128. 128. I'm gonna have to write. I keep doing that math in my head, and I don't ever remember what it is. Like 2 minutes later.
I feel that.
I can't tell you how many times I've counted those stupid thrusters. 128 triangles, and then we say 60. 8 and 8 is 32. An additional 12. 48. 48.
Your phone calculator does have a history on it, so.
Oh yeah, I didn't. I didn't even use my phone. I'm just trying to use my brain.
No, yeah, that's totally fine. I got my history here on my calc. It's just filled up with all these thruster calculations.
So that's 128 triangles and 48 box thrusters, plus whatever we can get in a wall. Which,
That's a good amount.
well, and we can essentially say that in the wall, if I used triangles, because we would just essentially double this wall, that would be 6 times 8, right? That's 6, and that's 8, and then we double that. And then we double it again because they're triangles. That's we could probably fit 192 triangles on the back, on top of the 128 that's already there. So that would be 320 triangles. Would that do it? Plus 48 box thrusters?
I'd be damn close.
We might be able to sneak some more box thrusters in somewhere. You know, I might be able to get a few more here and there. But I would think that that would almost be enough, wouldn't it? Damage? I need your maths. So I can fit 128 triangles, T3 triangles here.
Are you doing tier 2, tier 3, or all tier 3? Or...
Whatever the hell works.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? tier 2, the price is irrelevant to me. I just go get the materials. Like, and as far as somebody else buying this, I don't care. And then, so let me do that math again to make sure I was right. It's 8 times 6 times 2, so there would be 96 on each side, 192. So I could, if I did a second wall of just thrusters in the same orientation but full, it'd be 192. And we already have 128. So that's 320. And I know I could T3 triangles. Unless, I mean, I could do it in box thrusters, just trying to cram them together. So
hard points will...
Yeah, you eat up your space with hard points. But there's a dead space in the middle, so it might be... I might just try both ways.
Let's see, these are...
Okay, so... a T3 box thruster gets us what? 312 and 78.
It's like 390, or was it 390? I can't remember.
Yes, 390. 390, and you said divide that by 6.
Yes. How many thrusters did you?
300 and...
Multitasking.
I'm not doing either of them well. So it's 320 tier 3 triangles at 90.
It's like 20,800,000.
Is what is one thing you might want to... I missed a comment here. Just popped up. Riffaroo! One thing you might want to consider is breaking up the wall into quadrants instead of left-right. Yeah, I'll probably separate it into 4. Both of the... This is not the final configuration. This is just me literally pasting thrusters to see how many will fit. But I'll probably split it into 4 thruster groups. So that there's a... So that naming... I mean, do you even have to make a gap? You just have to do the naming. So that
you just do the naming, I guess.
Yeah, 4 groups is ideal, yeah. I can't tell you how much damage has drilled that into my head. That 4 thruster groups in the back, 4 thruster groups in the back. And I think this secondary group could probably have the same configuration as long as they're evenly... Because
I don't think they can be connected. Yeah, you do have to have a gap. They'll think they're working together or whatever.
Okay, well I mean, moving them, 12 centimeters apart or something isn't... probably 24 centimeters is probably... Well... Yeah, 24 centimeters. Just one beam up is probably the easiest way. I've really tried to do no janky beaming on this ship at all, or plating.
Like everything snaps.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think the only thing that I did that doesn't snap was just like some plating and stuff that doesn't matter. Like it's not, everything should just click together. Because I wanted everything to be in modules, I knew that if I didn't start with something that was fairly, now I made the mistake of using special beams, and there's some shenanigans with that.
As long as you can, if it's symmetrical, you can make them
Yeah, I'd like to
sometimes work well.
probably, even when I finish this ship, I will probably build another one just like it that is slightly different, solely to get rid of the weird little janky bits that are in there.
Sometimes you have to.
All right, so I got 4 more minutes.
Sacrifices.
I got a couple more minutes, so I need to thrusters. Oh, I'm like such a nerd. I have like a notebook with notes about a video game in it. Dang it. 192, so 320 T3s, and it gets us, what'd we say, 312 and 78, so 390,000 thrust, right? 390,000 thrust.
320, that's 124.8 mil.
Clear.
20,800,000.
Is what it'll move?
Yeah.
Well, the ship's way more than that.
Yeah.
Way more than that. I think what we
That's
say was 4 million per, 3.4 million per pod. Well, that's actually
full Lucium, so yeah.
3.4 times 8 is 27. But that also doesn't include 48 box thrusters, which I might be able to squeeze some more of those in there. So, and we said those are 520. I keep deleting that instead of clicking on it. 520, 650, right?
For the full tier 3, yeah.
650,000. Come on, calculator, work with me. 650,000 times 48 equals divided by 6 gets us another 5.2 million. What'd you say I guess I can do the math, that's no big deal. 320 20 times 390,000 divided by 6 equals 20.8 million. That gets us 26 million. 26 million thrust. Well, enough thrust for 26 million.
And that's for 150.
That's for 150. So if the crate's full of Lucium, what did we just say? We're 3.848. I wrote it down. Actually, I sent it to 3.848 million. So
times 8.
Times 8 equals 32 million. So.
Boom, and then you're not taking into account,
the ship.
Gens,
the ship.
Fuel rods, tanks of prop.
26
beams.
So we're still at least 6
heat sinks.
Sorry,
just keep going.
Yeah. We've probably got what, another 10 million in ship easy?
Yeah, I mean somewhere in that range. I mean, I don't know about that much, but it's going to be a fair amount, another few million, easily.
I mean, I suppose I
Are
could.
those large prop tanks? What are those?
Mediums. Space-wise, that's all I had room for, and I'm glad I crammed all that together. Yeah. And do I have enough generators? Probably not. But I can just keep adding length there. Where is... history? Damn it. Where is... Starbase codes, there it is. So if we say the overall ship, it's 32, so let's go with, I don't know. I need a bigger box there, 30. Okay, and triangle thrusters, 120, and box thrusters, 48. Overall weight in tons. In tons. Yeah. So if I put... So if I'm using the or the calculator, it doesn't give me a weight in there. But it said 1,000 crates. Have you ever used that thrust calculator thing?
Nope.
Oh, you put the number of crates in, and it tells you full crates versus empty crates versus half crates, that sort of thing.
I think an empty one weighs like 9,500 something.
Yeah, this one says 26,000 a stack for full, which is what we're looking at. 1,000 crates.
Well, like one crate with Lucium and it weighs like 36,000 something, I think.
Hmm.
Or what was it? It's yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So it says I could do 140. This says 1,000 crates. I only put 1,000 crates to try and take into consideration the mass of the ship. It would do 140 with 320 triangle thrusters and 48 box thrusters.
That sounds about right. I mean, like that big ship I have that you were using as a hauler, that's
Yeah, how many thrusters?
almost 300. I have to look it up.
So I think that's what we're going to go with. I'm going to build a wall of triangle thrusters behind this one. We're going to strap box thrusters every place we can on an angle, which should give us a little bit more thrust. I could just put them on top and make them straight. There's...
True. I mean, it's already sticking up.
Yeah, it's already sticking up the same amount. It was just it's a design choice at that point.
Make a cool looking trail, but you know.
Yeah, can you fit it? You know, Is there room for a box thruster there? I have to. My wife's gonna yell at me if I don't get off here soon. That's alright. Oh, turn on the snapping again. Oh, come on. Alright, let's turn on global snapping.
It's because your converters aren't selected too.
I was trying to choose the module, which...
Oh. Gotcha.
There we go. That still doesn't look straight, but... And we click this, and we delete it, and we add a module back in. We just do it that way.
I think the Q key will reset angles.
So what's it reset it to? Because it's certainly not resetting it to anything useful. Alright, we'll snap it there, and now it should... Yeah, now I can... It's at least on a... on it. Oh yeah, I love that. This is being super successful here. Okay. Nope. This way. Yeah, that's not gonna work, I know. But can you squeeze like the thruster trail? Does it fit out the same gap as a triangle? Like, can you intersperse
through that little spot there?
Yeah, like if I took out this guy, does the trail fit?
It might. Be damn close.
Not in that spot, but it looks like you could probably get it, you know, because that's more thrust than you would have gotten.
Interesting.
I don't know. It probably, if we're going not janky, that's probably not the way.
You know, end up with groupings being weird and stuff.
So weird groupings are so far down my list of things right now.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah, there'll come a problem, no question. But I think I can encase this all the way around in box thrusters without it looking too stupid.
Yeah. And you can like push it forward or backwards, give it a little bit more aesthetically.
Yeah, because I want to fit this. I don't like this big gap here, but it kind of needs to be there for the modularity part.
Mm-hmm.
Just stop. What is? Oh, you're getting in your own way. I hate when you try to pick it up and it gets caught on its own internal parts.
Yeah.
So
Put that module.
somewhere to not get involved in those thruster trails. Yeah, somewhere in there. And then have it wrap all the way around. Okay, I'm not terribly upset with it, and I think we're just gonna go with 2 layers of thrust, which once again I'm not a huge fan of, but I might try to work some depth changes in these. So they're not just, this road isn't quite so flat. We might be able to slide them, stack them, offset a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. Especially when you have them in groups. So 4 groups, you can do something with that. Maybe, possibly.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm talking out my ass at this point, but I think I can, instead of having a wall, like I can have this row slid back a little bit here. This entire row, maybe, if I can grab it. I really do have to go. But I can't stop at the same time. This is like an addiction. This is like a bad game of Sudoku. Candy Crush. This is like Candy Crush. You can't stop, but you know it's stupid.
I totally feel you.
So if we go back like a half a row here, like I understand I have to name and hard point them all differently. Alright, enough with the thruster things. As long as they're all named the same thing, they can be attached to separate hard points, correct? Or do they all have to be in one big block? Like, to be considered
What do you mean exactly?
So, like, I have 4 thruster groups, but can I have... Do they all have to... Does each group have to be connected to a single hard point kind of deal? Or can I have them separated, and as long as they're named appropriately, they'll function appropriately?
Each group will need at least 1 hard point.
Right,
as far
but...
as triangle thrusters.
Yeah, I get that they need the... Oh, I know they need the hard point part. I'm saying, do they all have... Do they have to be connected to the same hard point to be considered a group?
I think so. Yeah, if that's what you mean.
Well, can I have 3 different hard points that are all called... They're all named the same, but they'll function as a single group? Does that make sense? Like
one group of tri-thrusters can have more than 1 hard point on them.
Right. So if I stagger them like this, and I do the same on the bottom,
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
And as long as they're all named the same thing, right?
I mean,
in their appropriate groups.
I'm no expert on how much thrust they would put off. Sometimes that changes the amount of thrust they would give off.
Oh, if they're not connected to the same hard point? Because they don't act as a single?
And then I know like the multiple flight computer things becomes a thing.
Thank you, Riff.
If they share the same name, yeah.
Yeah, they would be like this row, and this row would be one group.
Right, yeah.
But I can't obviously just snap them. You know, they're not going to snap together as on one hard point. So I have to have different hard points that obviously have to be named correctly, but they would still function as a group.
Correct? Oh yeah, for sure. That's
And the idea is just to get rid of the flat wall, you know, and kind of work something a little more interesting in.
I mean, if it's all one group, they should all
Yeah.
be the same thrust, even if it's reduced or whatever.
Yeah, they would all be the same group.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it'll just be have to.
Connected to each other.
Yeah, the idea was to get. There's this ugly gap right here. I just don't want there. So if I can, not that one. If I can get, you know, something different here that.
You could remodel your gen setup, stick all that stuff in there.
Well, that's the thing is these thruster trails are kind of at the end of that module, so I can't really get anything closer to that anyways.
Yeah.
I mean, they're already filling that. All right, all right, file. The funny part is I did all this work and this is just nothing. This is even a module. But there's no framing, but this is just concept. I think that'll work. I could just also do the same thing with boxes and get a better salute. We did triangles because they have the shorter trail. Yeah. All right. This just means I need an absolute shit ton of work to do.
I mean, you could stick a shit ton of box thrusters in that spot too.
Yeah, I would just have to move the next section back further is all. So, all right. I'm going to say thank you to everybody for watching. Thank you for all your help today. I don't know why you guys want to watch the SSC, but I appreciate all the help. It's been very educational. So I will be back tomorrow probably doing the same thing if I don't try to get... Hi, Xenon. It's been a while. Thrusters can be one of the harder things to get down. You know, and I understand all the concepts of the thrusters. It's just they're such a pain in the ass to figure out how many you need. And like just like gens and props, like you're just exposed to stick a shitload on the end and be like, whatever. So
Yeah.
there needs to be some variability. So I will see you all tomorrow at the normal time, but I've got to go be an adult again. Sometimes you just gotta grow up. So thanks again for your help, Dirty. Thank you everybody on chat for helping. Xenon, Riff, who else do we hear? Barcan, Jongo, Damage, Cindy. I know I missed somebody. There was somebody. Riff was new. Barcan. I swear there was one more. Whatever. Thank you out. Somebody. Whoever I missed, thank you. So we'll talk to y'all tomorrow. Take it easy. Take care and have a great night.